Most of us are used to consuming food every few hours. Some of us even wake up at night for a little snack. We consider this a normal behavior by modern day standards. However, we can do otherwise. Most healthy people can go for longer periods of time without consuming food, provided that they have some body fat, and we all do, and that they consume water. As a species, we've been used to periods of fasting or not eating because earlier hunter-gatherers are thought to have not had the availability of food we have today, that is, 24/7. Some researchers think that fasting and feasting was more characteristic of these fallow humans. Fasting for 5 to 10 days is not much of a challenge and can be achieved by many of us. Yet people fear of dying of starvation if they skip a meal or two. Now, longer fasts that last for more than a week may need more preparation, they may be more challenging and may require more strict supervision. We can read about such longer fasts in medical journals and in research articles. One of them that caught my attention is a medical report from 1973 that was published in the Postgraduate Medical Journal. It reported about a patient, Angus Barbieri, who fasted between June 1965 and July 1966. Yes, for more than a year. To be more precise, this guy fasted for 382 days. At the time of his check-in at a hospital in Dundee in Scotland, he weighed 456 pounds, or about 207 kilograms. He had a lot of food stored in his body fat, if I may. By the end of his fast, he lost all his extra body fat and weighed around 180 pounds, or about 82 kilograms. He reached normal weight, and he maintained this weight in the 5-year follow-up period of his experiment. During his fast, AB only consumed water, coffee, tea, and some supplements. Researchers took blood samples, urine samples, and made notes and observations of his progression. You can find a link to an in-depth technical review of this in the description. Now, not that this would be interesting to know, but his fecal evacuations were very infrequent. The average time between stools was about 37 to 48 days. Imagine that. With his fast, Angus lost 276 pounds, or about 125 kilograms. And this 382-day fast is, to my knowledge, the longest medically recorded fast. There are people from different religions to claim to have fasted for longer than that, but their claims cannot be put under rigorous scientific scrutiny. On the other hand, there are other numerous reports, studies, and experiments of long fasts that are documented in medical libraries. You can read many of them yourself on Google Scholar or PubMed. Some of them were successful while others led to complications and even death. So make sure not to try this at home unless you really know what you're doing. And this video is not to be taken as medical advice. Moving on. The main focus of prolonged fasting as therapy was to treat obesity. Most studies have been conducted in the mid of the 20th century. Today, such experiments are considered unethical and are not approved by institutional review boards. Now, you'd probably ask yourself, how can someone survive or even thrive when they don't eat for longer periods of time? Aren't they like hungry? Well, the irony is that contrary to what most people think, the least to worry about when undergoing prolonged fasting is hunger. Hunger seems to go away after about 48 hours, and it only returns when body fat becomes critically low and your metabolism cannot efficiently derive energy from it anymore. But this usually doesn't happen. Take me for example. I'm a lean person and I could easily fast for a few dozen days without reaching the critical low body fat. If I could do that, what about a person who is overweight? Isn't this like the ultimate form of dieting? To conclude, Barbieri's voluntary self-experiment is testimony for the physiologic potential of human beings. It should also serve as mythbuster for the illusory imminent starvation that many of us fear when we don't consume food every couple of hours. I'd recommend reading the medical report yourself. Find a link in the description. If you enjoyed this video and you'd like to see more, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe. Thank you for watching.